They don't, yeah. So the goal that they set isn't like, oh, let's just knock this out of the park. It's this is what we need to get through the year and to service this big area. Because people think about Muscatine and they're like, oh, well, it's not that big, you know. But when you're talking about the whole county, all the rural areas, it ends up being a pretty big number of people who are in need of food and the toys this year.
Yeah.
Tell us
Not just that, our goal this year is $180,000. That's what comes in with the kettles, mail appeal, all of that. And so right now we are sitting at about $12,000.
With 18 days left in the kettle
18
season.
days, you guys.
Yes, of actual bringing.
18 days.
So
dun dun dun.
It can
We
be
can
a
do
little
it.
overwhelming, but we want to be able to do what we do at the Salvation Army, and if you don't know what that money goes towards all year, we have food pantry. We're able to help people with assistance. We have meal site Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have an after-school program, a summer program. So all these things that we have a youth programs, character building programs. So all of these things that we have are from this Christmas campaign.
Yes.
And so we are just fighting to meet that goal so we can continue doing what we do.
So before we went live, I was doing cheers. I was trying to give them hope that so they're newer to town, not brand new, but this is the first time they've experienced this, you guys, and we have to show them what we can do. And it's not just the city of Muscatine. This is the whole county. So we're rallying, Wilton and West Liberty and Letts and Fruitland and Grandview and all of these places who will benefit from these toys and this food and the kettle. We have to, as a whole county, rally together so that we can reach this goal, because it's not an outrageous goal of we want a big savings account.
No.
No, not at all.
We want to get through the year.
And
we want to not have to turn away a family that needs food or a program, So tell me, how many staff do you guys have in town? What are we talking as far as, because I know a lot's volunteers
we
too.
do. We have only one full-time.
Okay.
If anyone who comes to the Salvation Army, they know Sissy. She's been there for...
She was just recently named the Pearl of Muscatine.
Yes,
I think
and
two
she
weeks
was
ago.
so well deserving of that.
She's been there 13 years, and she runs the show down there.
Yep.
But we also have 2 part-time employees. Our Pathway of Hope coordinator, and she does case management, but she also volunteers her time to do after school.
Yeah.
And so, our heart's desire is to be able to pay her, but her heart is so in it. She loves those kids. She runs our youth programs.
Yes.
So she's there, and then Scott.
Lefty
from
Scott
the
Lefty. Yes.
Scott helps us with maintenance in our building, and he is a blessing to us. So
let me tell you about
we have
Lefty and the
both of them
Spinners, though.
part-time.
Let me just tell you, we have their concert Saturday night at the Salvation Army. There was over 300 people that came down for that.
People follow them.
I was shocked. I was blown away at just how awesome they were, and two, that first note that Scott strummed on the guitar, ring, and people just cheered. I was like, oh, this is something magical. This is something that's from the 70s, and it's awesome. And they helped us raise over $1,100 for the Red Kettle campaign.
That's awesome.
So, amazing. So thank you, Lefty and the Spinners, for that.
Yes. Amazing.
Our 7-year-old daughter came home, and she only knows Scott as working in the building, and so she came home and she started telling everybody, her brother, did you know Scott plays guitar and sings? She was so excited. So yes, thank you, Scott, for all your hard work put in last week. And
all the Spinners,
yeah,
did a good job.
Sorry, I have a little itch in my throat. Okay.
'Tis the season.
Yes, right? So, we have a lot of money to raise.
Yes.
A lot.
I'm going to show you in a little bit how much space we need. Can you give me some water? Thank you. How much space we need to fill inside that truck. Because from the outside, it looks big. I mean, it looks really big.
Yeah.
But when you get inside, you're like...
It's even bigger?
Yes.
Watching it drive in, just like the enormity of the truck, and seeing Iowa football and the Hawkeyes, and knowing the history of this freezing for food in the toy time, knowing that Krieger's opens their space for this, and then Hy-Vee opens their space for that, and 19 years, I believe, running, and this is this is something that when you go to a lot of communities, a lot of other communities don't have something as kind of magical as this when it comes to raising food and raising toys for the Christmas campaign.
Yes.
Everyone in the Army has kettles. That's a nationwide thing. But not everyone has
a Hawkeye trailer.
A Hawkeye
right?
trailer. Everyone has like a state football
We
team
are
like the Hawkeyes.
so blessed in this community to have the support. Thank you so much. To have the support of these companies.
Yeah.
I mean, like Tantera every year, Krieger's and Hy-Vee every year. They're like, we're all in. It doesn't matter. We don't even have to ask them. It's just like they assume, like, yep, we're going to do it again. And people in the community expect to see the Holler out here and expect that this is where they're going to bring their donations.
That's awesome.
So tell me about, because you have boxes other places that you're wanting to get donations for toys. But tell me about how that's going so far.
So we've had these the barrels. Thank you, Musco Lighting, for providing the barrels for us. We've had them at Walmart. I haven't checked the one at
I saw
Dollar General.
Dollar General was just a few yesterday.
So Dollar General has a few, but Walmart, when I was there this last weekend, had none. Had none. And so, like, this is the big push for toys. I think that's why maybe there's not many toys in the barrels. It's because folks associate the toy campaign with this 19-year tradition of bringing them down to Krieger's to the Holler, which is amazing in itself. But there are locations out there. So there is the daycare that's on 2nd Avenue. They have one. Exit Realty has a barrel. It's right next door to them.
So providing convenience for some people that can't make it out to the Holler. But I think you're right. This year, Thanksgiving was a little bit later. People are like kicking off a little later, so I'm hoping. I was telling them, I think we're just gonna get started this week. We're gonna really rally. We're gonna get a ton of toys. We're gonna get a ton of food next week, and I'm not worried about it because I believe in every single person in this community. I know that we will make the goal. I feel it.
Awesome.
So there are other locations, but this week, all week, you can come out. Check out the Holler. Bring in your donations.
Take some pictures in front of the Holler.
Oh my
with your
gosh,
kids,
yes. So this is a tradition that I started with my daughter. One of my goals as a parent was like, okay, if you do nothing else, please just raise a human that is good and caring and gets it. Like, gets that we need to help each other and gets that we need to be kind to each other. Like, I'm like, if she does nothing else in this world, like, please just make her be kind. So every year we pick 2 angels off the angel tree. She picks one and I pick one. And we make it a point. We get food every year, bring it out. I make sure that she's with me because this is the other important thing. We're not going to be here forever.
Right.
So we have to carry, if we want it to be going for another 19 years,
you know, another. In your kids.
Yes, you have to instill it in our kids. Teach them how to be kind. And so we pick out the angel trees, so we do that part. She really likes shopping for individual people and like seeing the list. But then we also go and we get some gifts. She gets to pick them all out, you know, all of that stuff, and we bring them out to the Holler. And it's she loves it. You guys, it's like better than going to Happy Joe's and playing on the toys. Like she enjoys that time going and picking out for someone else. It is a fun experience. So do it. Like, do it with your kiddos.
You know, that's a good point. I had friends of mine that were back from in my hometown of Alton. They just posted on Facebook and tagged me in it that she and her daughter were ringing the bell. And the daughter was like, Mom, I want to ring the bell. We have to sign up to ring the bell this Christmas season. And was consistent. Mom, when's the bell ringing?
Right.
She wanted to ring the bell because the last 2 years, she's taken it up on herself to take her daughter to the bell and to ring the bell for the kettle. And now this 3rd year they're doing it, the daughter was like, consistently
Isn't
asking,
it time?
When am I doing this? She loved doing it. And I tell people that I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be a Salvation Army officer when I grew up, right?
Right. That's not like.
But what I do remember is passing the Walgreens in Alton, Illinois, and putting those quarters in the metal kettle, and the way that quarter sounded when it hit the bottom of that kettle never changed. I told my dad I want to be a bell ringer when I grow up. And now here I am as an officer. I'm like
Right?
a professional bell ringer, for my life. But
He's actually lived inside the bell.
I lived,
I want
inside
to.
the kettle.
They want to know about this.
Yes.
I'm sure they want to know about this.
So it's cool because this Friday night,
yes.
down at Discover Muscatine's building,
Yep.
for Holiday Stroll, we will unveil it's over 7 foot tall. It's over 2,100 pounds.
cool,
it's on
you
a trailer.
guys.
This massive, giant red kettle. I had one like
So
this in
cool.
Northern Michigan, and the kettle campaign was behind in its goal. And as the leader of the Salvation Army in Northern Michigan, I thought to myself, well, the buck stops with me. I have to raise this money. So I climbed up in our big red kettle, and I lived there until we raised $10,000, a little over $10,000.
That's so awesome.
So it was kind of an extreme thing at the time to do. People didn't quite
They're
understand.
wait a second,
right,
this guy has gone crazy.
right, what's this? But once they understood what it was,
Yep.
I had people that would bring me cups of hot chocolate, plates of their dinner, saying, "We can't afford to give monetarily to you. We want to be a part. So here's
Right.
a cup of hot chocolate. Here's a plate of our dinner. We really appreciate what you're doing because
Yeah.
we ourselves benefit from Salvation Army all year long."
Yeah.
Oh my
So it just
gosh.
created a sense
Seriously,
of community
that's
with that, and just to be able to get the word out about why we do what we do
Yep.
and what we do,
Yep.
and the need in the community. It's huge.
I truthfully don't think, bless you again. I don't think that people know all of the services. Like,
Right.
they associate you guys with, the Christmas giving, they associate you with the red kettle, but necessarily knowing all of the things that you do throughout the rest of the year,
Yeah.
the other 11 months of the year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's important that people get to know our Salvation Army and get to
Yeah.
know the things that they offer because it's way beyond the red kettle. That's
It
just
is,
how
yes.
they provide for those programs
Yeah.
that they offer.
I was telling my wife the other day, I was saying, it's important for us to let folks know that the Salvation Army of Muscatine County isn't Lieutenant Bach's Salvation Army.
Right.
It doesn't belong to us.
Mm-hmm.
The Salvation Army of Muscatine County, Iowa belongs to the citizens of
All of us.
Muscatine
yes,
County, Iowa.
everyone.
And so the more that they give back to the Salvation Army, the chance of the resources being there, if they ever might need help,
Mm-hmm.
is good.
Yeah.
If you can invest in the Salvation Army, I like to say we are fertile ground to invest in
Yeah.
because you're going to get a return on the investment that you give to
Yep.
the Salvation Army.
Yep.
It's the money will be used wisely. We're transparent in how we use the money.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions about anything, let us know. We
Right.
want people to come down and take part in what we're doing down there.
Yep. So another thing that I always talk to people about is it's not even just people who need the support long term. It's people who maybe need the support temporarily.
Yeah.
So last year I went through some really tough stuff and I was worried, honestly. I was worried about Christmas and giving my daughter the Christmas that she's always had and how are we going to afford the big meal and
Yeah.
we were really budgeting. We had a lot of medical expenses and all of these things, and without the support of our community and the things that people did and just the kindness, there is no way we would have gotten through that.
Yeah.
This year, here we are, we're going to be picking angels off the tree just like normal,
Yeah.
doing all of those things again. But it's about supporting our neighbors and people who just need a little help right now.
Yeah.
Or so that is truly what it's all about. So the Hawkeye Holler is out here at Krieger's, you guys.
Yes.
It's ready to be filled with unwrapped new toys for all of the littles of Muscatine County. The whole county
Yes.
is
Fill her up.
benefiting.
Yeah.
Fill her up. I like it. Fill her up. So it pulled in. It'll be here all week. You can make donations during Krieger's store hours. There'll be somebody out there, greeting you and ready to accept your donation. And we're so grateful. I hope that you're all thinking about when you can, fit it in your schedule this week to make it out here. It's such an experience. It should be, if you can make it a whole family experience, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a great learning experience for our little people. It's it truly is.
Yeah.
And we have a goal
Yeah.
that we have to meet.
We do.
How many families got signed up for Christmas?
We have Probably about 450 families.
450
so over
families.
1,000 individuals.
How many kids? Do you know how many kids?
I want to say about 800 kids.
800 kids,
Yeah.
you guys. 800 kids.
And we want to give them, like, listen, you can give what you can afford to give.
Yes.
But I want to give kids the best that we can provide.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I want to give them this one toy for Christmas. I want to be able
Right.
to rock their Christmas and make it magical.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking like the good toys. If you have kids, you know, pick a tag off the tree that matches the age group of your own kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And take them out and let them shop for their own age group
Yes.
of friends that
Yeah.
could use
Yep.
those toys.
Yep. Yeah. You know, these might be kiddos that go to school with your
Right,
kid.
friends and neighbors.
Yep. It is staying local.
Yeah.
So these donations that you bring out to the Holler this week, new unwrapped toys, are going to be given to local families in our county. It's huge.
Yeah.
We need to reach our goal. We need to fill the trailer.
Yes,
Awesome.
fill her up.
Yeah.
Fill her up, he
Hashtag
says.
fill her up.
And then next week,
Fill
it'll
her up
be
again.
Fill her up again with food.
Yeah.
So head out to the local stores, grab a few toys, whatever you can afford.
Yeah.
And I always tell people too that you don't have to come in with a carload of stuff.
No.
Right.
Do what you're able to do.
Yes.
It's not about bringing the biggest donation. It's about just bringing one,
Yeah.
bringing any donation
Yeah.
that you can afford. And that's how it gets filled. It doesn't get filled.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people think, oh, well, that's like, you know, companies will come and they'll make their big donations and this and that. But it can't just be them.
No.
It's
Right.
all of us as a community coming together to fill the truck.
Yeah.
Fill her up.
I'll tell you, and you know what? This is the first time, I think, in our history of Salvation Army that we've had a kettle in Wilton, Iowa, and
Nice.
West Liberty, Iowa.
Yes.
So we're
Awesome.
expanding our footprint, and that's something else we want
Yep.
to do is, right now, everyone who wants help has to come to Muscatine City to get it. And
That's
if
not
we can
always
meet
a
our kettle-
possibility,
If we
right?
can meet our kettle goal and raise that $180,000, we can probably hire additional workers that can maybe open a satellite office.
Yeah.
at
Oh,
a
gosh,
place
that
in
would be
Wilton
amazing for
or
those
West Liberty,
places.
Yeah.
and have office hours in their own communities, so folks
Yes.
have to
Even if it's
worry
just
about coming
one
here.
day a week or
Right.
something so they can get the support that they need. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So we have a big vision for this
Yes,
county.
we do.
I say the need is big, that's why the goal is big, but the community is bigger than all of it.
Right.
Yes.
And-
Together.
Right.
As a
And as
whole.
a Salvation Army,
Not any one person is
Yeah.
big enough.
as a Salvation Army, we believe we serve a big God who is able to supply all of our needs. And I know that He will put in people's hearts the desire and the drive to get out and to give and to help us
Yeah.
reach the goal
Yeah.
that we have. Because we would just want to love people, you know,
Yes.
and really just kind of make their life better,
Yes.
however we can do that.
Oh, I love it. It just warms my heart even just talking to you guys. I love it. So, talk to me a little bit about, really quick before we head out, so I can show you how many Ashleys
Yes.
it's going to take
I'm
to
excited
fill
for
the
them to
truck.
get
I don't
there.
know
Yeah.
exactly how I'm going to show you guys, but I'm going to use, I don't know, I'll roll around, show you how big this thing is. It's
Can you just,
ridiculous.
like, start
Rolling down
the center of it?
Yes, I'll do whatever it takes. People, I'm not above that.
We
I will
might-
roll. I will
we
log
might
roll.
go viral if you roll that.
I'm rolling down the trailer to show you how big it is. It's crazy. We need to fill it with toys.
Yeah.
So, if somebody wants to ring the bell, though,
Yes.
what do they do? How do they get involved?
How do they get involved?
Well, you can go yourself online to
Okay.
register2ring.com, and then you put in the zip code for Muscatine County, and then you just pull up where you want to ring, and it will show you if it's open. You make yourself a profile. If you are not computer savvy, call the Salvation Army
Or just stop in. We
and
can
stop
sign
in,
you up.
and we will get you
Awesome.
signed up. Or if you see a bell and you are out and about,
Yes.
just pick up the
Just pick up the bell.
pick up the bell and
it's
start
empty.
ringing. Because let me tell you, the difference between a person standing there and
Yes.
not standing there is
It's huge. I'm
It
sure
is.
it is.
Oh, it is.
I
Very
mean-
much so.
My kids and I were out this weekend twice, and only maybe for an hour or two at a time. But the difference, I mean, of course, they're really cute and singing Christmas carols.
Oh,
But in the
gosh,
hour,
yes.
bringing in $100 in an hour, as opposed
Oh
to
my
no one
gosh,
standing
yes.
there, and maybe one or two people giving, and even just like the toys, where you said, you know, it doesn't matter what you bring. It's the same as with the kettles.
Yeah.
If you have your change, put some change in there because
It adds up.
Everything counts. I know one cuddle we counted the other day had over $100 just in change.
And change alone.
And so every little bit helps. And
ooh, the sun is out.
Yes.
Having someone at
It's
that
shining
cuddle,
on the Hawkeye
It's
Holler, which
shining on
has to be
it.
a good sign that it needs you to come down and
Yes.
fill her up.
or it needs Ashley to roll in it.
Yes.
Or that.
It's warming it up because it's going to be cold.
Yes.
So, yes, every year the temperature drops just for our freezing for food and toy time. I swear, every year it happens every single year. But it's okay because we don't care if we have to be cold as long as you guys show up
Right.
and bring donations, bring your hearts full of love and for our community. Yes, I totally agree about the bell ringing. It's so important to have people standing there because it's easy to just pass or easy to just not even see it, you know, just to be in such a hurry. We're all in such a hurry.
Yeah.
Last year I saw some people who were like, had their guitar and like things like that. So be creative if you have a talent.
We're looking for like harmonica players and saxophone. Like who can
drummers,
resist
Alex.
a saxophone at the
Alex
kettle?
is gonna bring his drum
The
set.
whole drum set. Yeah, there you go.
You know?
That would be
How about just some bongos or
something.
yeah.
Whatever your talent is, magic
have-
tricks, you know.
I loved how you were
do
talking
it.
earlier about doing it with the kiddos and how the child picked up on that after a couple years.
Yeah.
I have a friend who I just saw a picture on social media. She showed it was like one of those pictures where it's like her kiddos sitting on the same bench when they were tiny itty bitties, and then
Growing
they
up.
recreated it, you know, in the same spots
Yeah.
all these years later. And it was like, that's awesome. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about, creating a tradition out of giving.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, if you're out ringing the bell with your kids, snap a picture
Yes.
and post it, and just maybe hashtag it Salvation Army or hashtag I'm a
send-
bell ringer or
send
something.
it to us. Yeah.
Send it to us. We'd love to get it out there and let folks know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can do it, other people can do it, kids
Yes.
can do it. It's
No matter how busy you are,
Yeah.
can you give up an hour? Can you give up a couple hours?
Right.
And you know what I love about Muscatine, and this is one of the only areas I've ever been in the Salvation Army that you can actually ring inside. I mean, Walmart we ring outside, and we need that. However, most of the locations you ring inside, and I've never been anywhere where you ring inside. So my kids were
Really?
like,
yeah.
you guys.
All of the
it's norm-
businesses are like,
it's-
it's cold out
it's
there.
normal
Come on
for you
in.
guys, but we're used to standing in Chicago freezing cold weather
Yeah.
and ringing the bell.
See, so we have it good,
Yeah,
you guys.
you guys do, and the kids can get involved because they're not freezing outside.
Right. You don't have to worry about them getting sick. And
So I love that about this community that
All-
he even tried to
businesses
stand
just have
outside,
open arms
and they're like, get
here.
I
inside.
did. They do. I tried to stand outside. I was in a big Triceratop blow-up dinosaur costume behind
Yeah.
a bee the other day. I was trying to be
Totally
incognito
normal.
until Tony called me and said, Tony Tone called and said, you know, Lieutenant, there's people outside ringing. I was like, yeah, I'm one of them. I'm in the dinosaur costume. He goes, no, you can go inside. I'm sure you're freezing. And they kind of forced us to come inside and ring the
No,
bell
really,
in there.
you have to
So-
come
well, that's 'cause
inside.
he said people were asking them. They don't
so
want to stand
nice.
outside. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
because they
just
were
so
going,
great.
when we ring the bell, we had to be outside too?
Yeah.
No, you can go inside Ivy and ring the
Yes.
bell.
So yeah, that's
So if you're
awesome.
wearing your dinosaur costume and are a little cold while you're ringing the bell, you can
Yes.
go inside.
Yeah,
Don't
we
be
had
scared.
Elsa and Olaf the other night. They were inside ringing, and
I feel like I need a costume now.
You know, hey, if you have one, wear it and get out there and ring it.
Yep, for
Book
sure.
that costume.
Okay, guys, so again, if you're just tuning in, we're down at Krieger's on Highway 61.
Yep.
The Hawk Holler is here and ready for your donations. You can bring donations, big, small, in the middle, doesn't matter, of unwrapped new toys. Let's fill her up.
Fill her
Yeah.
up. Hashtag fill her up.
That's our new hashtag, fill her up. I am going to go out now and show you guys just how big the Hawk Holler is if you haven't been inside of it before. And we have to fill it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys what that's like.
Yeah,
I-
I'm excited to see
apparently
it.
I'm going to
Perfect.
log roll. I'll do what it takes. I mean, I'm in it to win it. We got
Yes.
this.
All
Okay,
right.
let's do
Let's
it.
see it.